adalah untuk memberi sokongan kepada istiharan citizen yang ditangani pada masa bulan Mac. This will be a series of announcements by distinguished Malaysian personages for the Citizens Declaration to save Malaysia, and it's an important occasion. Maybe we can take a photograph of everybody signing first instead of speaking, because I think Tony has to go and rush off to the airport. Shall we start with the signing first before we open the press? Okay, the photographs, and we'll start signing I've already signed, so I don't sign. So we can see some signing. Okay. So we have Thomas on my right, the distinguished legal practitioner. We have Arumugam, prominent NGO leader. We have Dinsman, Encik Shamsuddin Osman, distinguished writer. We have Dr. Aziz Bari, legalist, constitutionalist. We have Nakowai, the acting chairman. We have Pulasegren, the DAP vice chairman. Tony Pua, who is, as you know, the BJ Utara member of parliament. Kok Siong, the former deputy leader and the MP for Razak. Arumugam, Nilai, assemblyman, and that is on the way. All signed, I just say a few words and then we invite all our secretaries today to say a few words. This is of course about the Citizens Declaration. Whether March the 4th, 2016 will go down in history as an important watershed in Malaysian politics and nation building will depend on whether the Citizens Declaration, signed by 45 political and civil society leaders on March the 4th, including the former PM, Tun Mahathir, former DPM, Tan Sri Muhyiddin, former cabinet ministers, as well as opposition and civil society leaders, bridging the political divide, calling on Dato Sri Najib to his removal as Prime Minister, and as well as for democratic and institutional reforms, gets the support of the majority of Malaysians. Today's gathering of distinguished personalities endorsing the Save Malaysia Citizens Declaration is a further step in developing a momentum to create national awareness of the urgent and imperative need for Malaysians, regardless of race, religion, region, or politics, to stand as one Malaysian people to cure the country of the great sickness which has caused the nation to fail in achieving the great promises we aspired when the nation attained Merdeka 59 years ago with our rich human talents and natural resources. Because of my 6-month suspension from Parliament, I had the opportunity of visiting so far 92 parliamentary constituencies to take the pulse of the people on Najib's twin mega scandals, and in the past 2 weeks, public reaction to the Save Malaysia Citizens Declaration. Last week, I visited 12 parliamentary constituencies in Kelantan, Kedah, and Perlis. There is Ketere, Machang, Tanah Merah, Tumpat, Kota Baru in Kelantan, Sungai Katani, Merbuk, Kuala Kedah, Alostar in Kedah, Padang Besar, Arau and Kanga in Perlis, And I find, by and large, the Citizens' Declaration resonates with the people's deepest aspirations, because all Malaysians, regardless of race, religion or politics, love this country and want to be able to be proud of Malaysia, to secure world recognition and appreciation of our achievements. We do not want to become one of the world's most corrupt countries, with our football ranking number 171 in the world, when in the early decades of the nation, we are one of the great football nations in Asia. It is almost a year ago, at the Bukit Bintang DAP dinner on March the 22nd, 2015, that I first broached the idea of a political coalition crossing the political, religious, racial and regional divides to save Malaysia, to resolve the multitude of national crises confronting the country. The 304, that is March the 4th Citizens' Declaration to save Malaysia, is the first step to bridge the political divide, to realize this Malaysian dream, although the journey is going to be a long and arduous one. It is natural and understandable that Malaysians, like the 45 signatories to the Citizens' Declaration to save Malaysia on March the 4th, and even today, who are the personages appearing before you today, have different and separate political agendas. But our greatest challenge is to come together to develop a common core agenda to save Malaysia by checking the rot in the country and create a clean, democratic, incorruptible and inclusive government of excellence which upholds constitutionalism, the rule of law, human rights, and restore the independence, professionalism, credibility and integrity of our national institutions. I call on all Malaysians to endorse the Citizens' Declaration and support all programs and activities that will be organized by various stakeholders in support of the Citizens' Declaration in various parts of the country in the coming weeks and months. Ideally, we should develop enough momentum to ensure that by the next 14th general elections, the slogan and cry of Save Malaysia can be the most overpowering one, which not only unites all Malaysians, regardless of race, religion, region or politics, but can be the remedy for the multiple ills afflicting the nation. Zaril has just joined us. Okay, maybe you can ask some of our signatories to say a few words. I'll start with Tommy Thomas.
Thank you, Lukitsiang. I regard it as an honor, indeed a duty, to sign the Citizens' Declaration. The revelation last July that Prime Minister Najib had $680 million in US dollars worth of accounts in his personal banking accounts, which have never been denied, and which now, according to the Wall Street Journal, could be as high as the US $1 billion, is just so shocking that no country that calls itself a parliamentary democracy in the 21st century can have such a person as its Prime Minister. There are only three critical questions in relation to that kind of money, whether it's US 680 or US $1 billion, which is where did the money come from, the source of payments. Secondly, why were those payments made? And thirdly, what happened to that money? And we've never had a credible, honest explanation. There have been multiple versions given over time. And what that really does is to destroy the credibility of the Prime Minister. So therefore, I think it's a duty of all citizens of in Malaysia to sign this declaration. It is wonderful. And in fact, a landmark event in recent Malaysian history that we have a coalition of the former Prime Minister, Tun Dr. Mahathir, along with his political nemesis for many decades, people like Lim Kit Siang and Anwar Ibrahim, of course, was in jail, but he has indicated his support. And of course, NGOs led by people like Maria Chin and Ambika, and a lot of other personalities. So what we really need is this coalition to spread and to get both grassroots support and also across the political divide. Now, constitutionally, the way to remove a sitting Prime Minister is for a motion of no confidence, but the Speaker of the Dewan Rakyat has so far not allowed the tabling of such a motion. And in fact, I think a similar thing happened in Terengganu last week. So what that means is that avenue, which is the traditional way in Westminster systems, is blocked. And so I think all these savvy, sophisticated politicians must lead the challenge in trying to unseat the Prime Minister. But of course, we all accept that it has to be lawfully, peacefully, and democratically. So I would ask everybody to sign and support this declaration. Thank you.
Why?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia is undergoing a period of painful darkness. This country is declining worse than ever. And the declaration, the citizens' declaration to save Malaysia is a declaration that should be supported by all Malaysians. From all political divides as well as idealism. Now, I wish to say here that no matter of importance is more important than national interest. We may not be able to change the past, which is known, but we should be able to change the future, which is not known. Saya ingin menegaskan di sini kepentingan negara mengatasi semua kepentingan, dan saya ingin menyeru semua rakyat Malaysia supaya bergerak ke hadapan untuk membawa perubahan demi kepentingan negara, kerana negara ini sedang mengalami mega skandal dan masalah keuangan dan lain-lain yang paling parah dalam sejarah kita. Dan saya juga menyeru supaya semua rakyat Malaysia dari berbagai latar belakang menyertai kempen atau gerakan muafakat selamatkan Malaysia ini, dan tidak menganggapkan ini adalah satu agenda pribadi atau permusuhan pribadi. Ini adalah satu usaha sama rakyat Malaysia untuk menyelamatkan Malaysia. Terima kasih.
Boleh dulu. Okey, boleh. Boleh dulu. Okay. We give you a special dispensation.
Actually, I will comment on the reply given by the Prime Minister this morning in Parliament, where he was replying to the first question, and I had the opportunity to ask him a supplementary question. The original question was actually what are the cooperation and the work that will be done with our trade partners in ASEAN in order to overcome the economic uncertainties in Malaysia. This was the first question in Parliament today, assigned to Katrin, which is the new information chief of UMNO. So it was obviously a structured question. I had the opportunity to ask the supplementary question where I talked about the fact that the scandals of 1MDB and 2.6 billion are prime reasons why Malaysia is facing greater economic uncertainties as well as a crisis of confidence in our economy. This will affect foreign investors, and I stated very clearly that Malaysia has never faced greater negative media publicity internationally in our history. So this was something I stated, and I requested the Prime Minister to actually answer. What is he going to do with these scandals? Will he explain himself, because he hasn't given answers to these scandals? And the longer he delays in giving answers to these scandals, the more, the graver the crisis that we will face in this country. My comment is that the Prime Minister failed in his reply, given the prime time opportunity to address the Parliament, to give the reasons or provide the foundation, the basis why the scandals happened and why the so-called donation ended up in his personal account. All he did was to reassert that Malaysia is doing very well, we have attracted a lot of foreign direct investments, and he said that we are an accountable government and they are the relevant agencies which will investigate all these particular cases. He has missed a golden opportunity to reply not only to Parliament but to all Malaysians, okay, why he received such a big donation, who this donation is from, whether the allegation by Wall Street Journal that the sums donated into his account exceeds $1 billion, and why did 1MDB end up with the crisis it has with 55 billion in debt. It is a missed opportunity, and it will only add to the crisis of confidence in the Malaysian economy, in the Malaysian government.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kita semua tahu bahwasanya Save Malaysia Campaign dilancarkan oleh Deklarasi Rakyat pada 4 2016. Oleh karena kita merasakan bahwasanya negara ini sedang dalam bahaya, dalam bahasa Inggrisnya fail atau rough state. Dan kita tahu bahwasanya hutang negara kabarnya meningkat 600 billion, dan mana kita disenaraikan ke tempat ketiga dalam bangsa yang terkorup di dunia ini. Dan oleh karena itu Deklarasi Rakyat merasakan harus ada pertukaran kepemimpinan, juga harus ada iklim yang berubah dalam dunia demokrasi dan institusi di dalam negara. Dan sejauh ini rekod demokrasi kita saya kira sangat buruk. Contohnya antara soal yang ulang-alik pelbagai tafsiran aliran dana dari negara luar. Suatu waktu katanya itu dana simpati dari keluarga orang kaya Arab sebanyak 6.0 daripada Amerika. Derma saja, mungkin kurang dibimbangi. Maksud kalau derma saja memang kurang dibimbangi, tetapi dia mempunyai implikasi yang lain, kesan yang lain. Yang merusingkan ialah dana rahsia ini membanjir, mengalir ke dalam kempen pilihan raya, perbelanjaan pilihan raya yang secara berleluasa sedikit sebanyak telah dimaklumi bahwa 1.56 bilion ringgit dimanfaatkan oleh Barisan Nasional, oleh kerajaan untuk berbelanja untuk pilihan raya, yaitu melanggar syarat sebanyak 16 kali ganda sebenarnya yang dibenarkan untuk pilihan raya, berarti kerajaan yang ada ini sebenarnya adalah kerajaan haram. Dan ini memang sedang dipertanyakan dan digugurkan, dan oleh keadaan yang gawat ini ada kebimbangan bahwa kerajaan oleh terdesak bakal menggunakan cara keras menangani masalahnya. Dan cara itu memang pun mulai terbayang dan tidak mustahil bakal diamalkan. Contohnya sekarang ini kebebasan akhbar mulai dibatasi, malah sudah ada pun yang terpaksa tutup, dan kita tidak boleh sewenang-wenang berceramah atau berdiskusi di universiti atau di mana-mana institusi pengajian tinggi seenak suka kita. Dan kita tidak digalakkan untuk bertanya tentang aliran dana kepada akaun PM. Mulai terbayang menjongolnya undang-undang yang keras. Nah, malah mungkin ini tidak mustahil akan digunakan terhadap kelompok pembantah. Dan kita sudah pun ada undang-undang yang merisaukan. Sosma contohnya, Kota contohnya, yang dalam situasi terdesak bakal dimanfaatkan secara total. Dan jangan lupa April ini NSC Act juga akan dihidupkan, memberi kuasa yang total kepada kerajaan untuk menangkap atau menahan seseorang tanpa pembicaraan. Inilah diantara penyakit-penyakit cemar dan cemas yang ingin diwarisi sekarang oleh kelompok yang simpati dan percaya dengan Deklarasi Rakyat. Sekian.
Terima kasih, Profesor Aziz Bari.
Thank you, Advocate. I think the one thing that we read in the papers for the past few days is that some 76% of readers of one particular news portal have said okay to this declaration. It itself shows that it's get on very well with the citizenry. Secondly, that the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Home Affairs made a statement that some 800,000 people have been barred from living with, or from going overseas, and we have seen also the rise in these people emigrating, living in the country. So that all signs that not all well with the country. So tuan-tuan dan puan, kita menyaksikan suatu suasana negara kita menghampiri negara rogue state ataupun failed state, ya. So let alone about bringing back all the talent coming back home, even those who are around are thinking of leaving, and things are getting worse. And in the light of that, instead of improving, so we have seen how the government treated foreign journalists for just asking questions. So these are all the signs that I think is not very well, and I think this is the reason why we see that people like to have this declaration being acted upon. So let us set aside our differences of background and so on, because I think if you go back, this is quite similar to what happened after Reformasi. You know, we have got Negara being formed at that time. So now we have seen people like, you know, from former Prime Minister to Dr. Wan has come forward to put up this proposal, and this is, I think, the one thing that we should and we should set aside all this and let us not deal with question like, you know, what opportunity, or, you know, who become the Prime Minister and so on, because what is important is to save the country. And I think what is crucial in this declaration dalam deklarasi rakyat ini ialah soal untuk mengembalikan integriti institusi utama seperti Peguam Negara, SPRM, Bank Negara dan sebagainya, because these are the main institutions that have been undermined in this 1MDB scandal. Itu dalam pembuangan sekalian. We cannot hope. If this is what happened, then institutions like the rulers can only back. Yeah, quite also interesting to note that for the past few months, Majlis Raja-Raja telah pun 2 kali menyatakan prihatin mereka, concern mereka tentang 1MDB dan juga tentang undang-undang Majlis Keselamatan Negara (NSC) Bill, which in some quarters now they have been talking about the possibility of rushing through this bill to get a concern and being used in order to deal with this new political scenario. So I think in the light of that latest development, it is crucial that all of us support and move forward with this declaration.
Yeah, thank you. Which is clear that yes, Ben.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pertamanya saya mengucapkan terima kasih kepada saudara Siang yang telah menjemput saya untuk mengambil bahagian dalam Deklarasi Rakyat pada hari ini. Saya bukan aktif dalam mana-mana parti politik, tapi saya aktif dalam seni budaya. Dan bila Limki Siang meminta saya ikut serta dalam ini, saya terima, bersetuju kerana kami baru saja mengadakan satu sidang media bulat membincangkan soal budaya 2-3 hari yang lepas, dan antara yang kami rumuskan dalam sidang itu ialah kurangnya penyertaan orang-orang seniman budayawan dalam gerakan untuk perubahan di Malaysia. Dan satu perkara yang orang-orang mungkin tak berapa sedar sejak reformasi dilancarkan oleh Anwar Ibrahim tahun 98, penyertaan golongan seniman budayawan sampai sekarang ini masih terlalu minimum.
True, there are a lot of setbacks earlier, but I think we should look at the larger picture. The hope for the young and for the others, only way is this manner to save Malaysia. In any other country, our mature democracy by now, with the scandals that the Prime Minister himself is facing, he would have volunteered to resign. In other democracies we have seen. But unfortunately, not only he is not resigning, he is a firm grip on the institutions. This is a concern for the public in this country. And to make matters worse, you can see what is happening of late. And I think even the Bank Negara governor soon will be somebody of his personal liking, who will then able to save him. But I think more important than that is for the Prime Minister at this stage, even now it is not too late, for him to take leave and allow independent investigations by independent bodies on all that has taken place in this country. My biggest worry is not only the institutions are being manipulated, but we're having a very near situation of Prime Minister dictatorship in this country. And unless this movement takes shape and able to win the hearts and minds of the people, nothing much will happen in this country. I pray that this movement will be able to go around the country and get all walks of life, young, old, those who are on the bystanders of the political field, to get involved and bring about a change. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, Honorable Chair and the panel. I'm also signing the Citizens Declaration because it tends to give some hope, some real hope to see that Malaysians are also not corrupted. The leaders are corrupted, sometimes people are corrupted as a result of which they elect corrupted leaders back into power. So, as being an activist and also a citizen of this country, I look at the state as just not a failed state, a state that is a state capture in place. The state is called a state in capture simply because those with political power can actually take control of all the institutions that promote and establish various structures to run the government, as a result of which citizens lose their basic fundamental right to question the state. Therefore, we call it either dictatorship or whatever it is. The power cannot be challenged by any ordinary means of citizens fighting. As a result of which, if we bring about a people's movement through which we demand institutional reform here means destructuring the structured situation of this country, by which means we can bring back a constitutional government, rule of law, which can answer all the questions as to the issues of corruption, issues of political corruption, issues of mismanagement, issues of how we are being used as a slave to put back the same people in power all over again. The other point is also, this Citizens Declaration has brought about some kind of, they say, unholy alliance of various forces, of various political forces. I suppose this will bring about a new hope among the citizens to save Malaysia from the current rotting situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Terima kasih kepada saudara Kisiang dan juga rakan-rakan pimpinan yang berada pada hari ini. Dan bagi saya rasa cukup bangga kerana pada pagi ini saya boleh bersama dengan pimpinan yang berada di sini untuk sama-sama menurunkan tanda tangan di atas Deklarasi Rakyat. Bagi saya ya sejak kecil lagi, ya umur 4 ke 5 saya dah menghadiri ceramah ataupun program-program saudara Kisiang. Dan saya nak menegaskan bahawa ya kami anak-anak muda di dalam parti DAP, kami akan memberi, saya cukup yakin ya kami akan memberi sokongan yang penuh kepada saudara Kisiang dan juga pimpinan yang tertinggi kita yang telah pun menurunkan tanda tangan mereka. Dan saya rasa adalah satu tanggungjawab ya bukan saja kepada pemimpin politik, NGO ataupun dan sebagainya, tetapi seluruh rakyat Malaysia, khususnya anak-anak muda juga haruslah sama-sama kita menurunkan tanda tangan, di mana pada masa kini memang merupakan salah satu masa di mana negara kita memang memerlukan satu perubahan, di mana Perdana Menteri kita memang perlu mengundur supaya kita dapat kembalikan negara kita dalam sistem ataupun pergerakan yang stabil. Dan dengan ini saya sekali lagi ucapkan terima kasih kepada saudara Kisiang dan juga rakan-rakan di sini, dan saya juga berharap dengan adanya upacara tanda tangan deklarasi pada hari ini, kita akan menggalak lebih ramai rakyat Malaysia untuk sama-sama menyertai gerakan ini. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih kepada semua saudara Kit. Seperti mana yang telah disebut tadi oleh rakan-rakan yang lain, tak perlu saya mengulang. Kita berada dalam satu keadaan yang amat luar biasa, dan keadaan yang amat luar biasa ini memerlukan langkah-langkah yang amat luar biasa juga. Dan percayalah, tidak ada yang lebih luar biasa daripada kerjasama antara Lim Kit Siang dan Dr. Mahathir. Nothing more extraordinary than that. But because we are in extraordinary times, we need extraordinary measures. Dan seperti mana yang ditekankan tadi, ya, gerakan ini bukan dinamakan gerakan selamatkan Dr. Mahathir ataupun selamatkan Lim Kit Siang. The point is, it is not about any individual. It's not about Lim Kit Siang, it's not about Dr. Mahathir. It is about our country. Itu yang kita sebut selamatkan Malaysia. Dan mungkin ada yang, ya, biasanya bila saya bincang dengan orang pun, ramai yang tertanya, ya, adakah kita dengan mengambil langkah ini menggadai prinsip kita? Are we forsaking our principles? I think the more important question to ask is, are we prepared to forsake our country and the future of our children just because of political differences? Ya, sanggupkah kita menggadai masa depan negara kita, ya, hanya kerana perbezaan politik? Jadi pada saya menyokong penuh, ya, inisiatif yang sangat kritikal ini untuk mewujudkan satu united front yang is an unprecedented initiative to bring together a united front, yeah, of all Malaysians of all sorts of backgrounds and political beliefs, politicians, civil society, activists, people from the arts and culture fraternity. We've never seen this before. And all for what purpose? To save our country, remove the Prime Minister, to restore the integrity of our institutions. So I fully support, and I thank Saudara Lim Kit Siang as well for helping to organize this. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih kepada saudara Kit Siang. Bagi saya, Deklarasi Rakyat adalah satu persefahaman antara parti-parti politik, NGO dan juga bekas-bekas pemimpin negara yang mengatasi segala persefahaman ataupun segala aspek antara kita. Deklarasi Rakyat adalah satu persefahaman mengatasi segala-galanya. Jika hari ini kita tidak mengambil satu keputusan yang drastik seperti Deklarasi Rakyat dan juga menuntut semua tuntutan dalam Deklarasi Rakyat, kita akan menghadapi satu masalah ataupun kesukaran di masa hadapan. Seperti mana yang kita tahu, beberapa orang yang ada ataupun dalam Deklarasi Rakyat ini telah sebelum ini melakukan beberapa perkara yang menghancurkan sistem negara kita. Tetapi kita tidak menafikan, jika kita terus berfikir ataupun bercakap pasal yang sebelum ini dan tidak memikirkan masa depan, sudah tentu masa depan negara kita akan hancur. So, saya sebagai anak muda menyeru rakan-rakan saya dalam kalangan golongan muda untuk memikirkan masa depan dan membuat satu keputusan dengan menyokong Deklarasi Rakyat supaya kita dapat memimpin dan juga memilih pemimpin yang bersih, amanah untuk terus memimpin negara kita pada masa depan.